little bit of a post discussion for what we just read, the day in life of the Romans part 2. We heard in our previous chapter, and we heard in part 1, that plebeians lived in crowded and noisy apartments, which did not have kitchens, as was mentioned, for fear of burning down the whole building, right? What was the home or the domuses like of a patrician family? What do we know about them? What were they like for their families? We discussed it a little bit, but Joey? They were huge, right? We know that there were a few stories high. They took up space. Cooper, what else do we know about their homes?
They have dozens of slaves.
No, that's not about their home. We're focusing on what do we know about their homes. They're huge. They have many stories. Yes. What do we know about their homes? Not what do we know about the people in them. What do we know about their homes? Turn and make sure your neighbor's response is about the home. So join your other crew. 3, 2, 1. What else do we know about their home? Zoe.
They have a big house and they have a pool of rain.
Yep, they have that pool of rain. So we learned about one of the family gathering spots in the Domus was called an atrium, and it was in the middle. What do we know about the atrium? Grayson. Yeah, there's like a hole in the middle, and it's full of rainwater, isn't it? Yes, Chloe.
That it has a skylight and you can't close it.
Good. It's kind of got that. It's kind of got that skylight in it. And when it's just like basically like a courtyard in the middle where there's no roof, there's no ceiling. So when it rains, water comes in, and they collect it in that pool. What do they use that pool for? Haley.
They use it for when they feet.
Yeah, they can wash their feet in there. They also gather in the atrium because, as you guys mentioned, large families, right? What kinds of rights did women have? What kind of rights did they have? Kyler?
To own land.
They could own land, which is something that at the time not a lot of women in other places could do, but they could own land. Brock?
Manage slaves.
They managed slaves. That was a big part of their daily duties as a patrician, is they were managing the slaves. Instead of doing it themselves, they were telling other people what to do. Right.
And they couldn't vote or run for a senator.
Now that's what they couldn't do. What could the women do? Grayson. They could start businesses. Because they were landowners, they often had businesses like owning land and leasing it out, or owning buildings and leasing it out, being the person that people pay for rent. Good. Put it down. Great. Perfect. What couldn't women do? Viola?
They couldn't vote.
That's a huge one. They couldn't vote at the time. We also know, Ray, mention yours again.
They couldn't vote or run for senator.
They couldn't become senators or consuls, and they could not vote. I want you to think for a moment about the difference between a patrician dinner and a plebeian dinner. And we talked a little bit about, again, that patrician dinner versus the plebeian dinner. And I want you to think of direct comparisons. So I know that the plebeians sat down on stools and ate quickly. The patricians, what?
They relaxed.
They relaxed. They lounged, right? While they ate their meal. And you guys all propped up for me and lounged for a second. We're not doing it right now? Turn and tell your neighbor, what else do you know directly comparing and contrasting those plebeian to patrician dinners? Three, two, one. What are some other direct comparisons between those patrician and plebeian families that you got to discuss? Charlie.
The plebeian families were the ones who ate grains.
Yeah, they're all going to eat grains, but that's kind of what their diet focused on, right? What else do we know? Joey?
That, like, patrician families had, like, huge meals, and they got to eat with their hands, and then, like, plebeian families didn't get to eat.
Yep, patrician families had huge meals. They ate with their hands. It was lavish. Plebeian families didn't experience it like that. Their meals were what?
Quick.
They were quick. They were rushed. They had things to get done, right? Patrician families, they could be like, hey, well, I eat. Slaves do this, that, and the other. Plebeian families were like, I need to eat so that I can go do this, that, and the other. So you kind of see why the difference in dinners happen. We also read about kind of what happened when there was a food shortage. What happened with the plebeians when there was a food shortage? Claire. Yep. So then there was. They said they tried to keep things clean, but disease would happen. Haley.
They would
They get ill. There was no medicine. Third graders, I want us to go over a little bit of word work. You ready? In our reading today, we heard that people would rampage through the city, burning and trashing buildings, and just generally creating chaos. Chaos is a state in which complete confusion and disorganization occurs. When the monkeys escape from their cages at the zoo, there may be complete chaos, right? Have you guys ever been in a place where there was chaos? Yeah, you've been in a place when there's chaos? Raise your hand if you've ever been in a place where there's chaos. Fabulous. So we're going to share our experience of chaos with someone near us today, but we're going to remember to use that word chaos in our sentence. So I remember going Black Friday shopping a few years back with my friend, and it was chaos at Kohl's. People were running everywhere and grabbing random things. It was chaos. It was disorganized. People were all over the place. I left. It was not for me. Chaos. I want you to turn and give your neighbor an example of when you experience chaos, remembering to use your word chaos as you go. Turn. Ryder.
My horse was so hard and the other horse that was chaos. Later.
3, 2, 1. Lexi, tell us about your chaos.
So when I went to my
Use your word.
it was chaos when I went to my cousin's house. It was her birthday, and when she opened her present, she started screaming.
Perfect. It was chaos when she went to her cousin's house. It was her birthday, and she opened presents. She was screaming. Do you feel like that would be pretty chaotic? Lots of chaos. Oh, and she's too. Kason, tell us about your chaos.
So when I was 5 years old in Walmart.
Don't forget to use your word. Our word is?
Chaos. It was chaos when I was 5 years old in Walmart. There was like 5 minutes until the place closed, and everybody was rushing around, and then they literally said there's 30 seconds until it closed. And
so he experienced chaos at Walmart when he was younger. 5 minutes to close, and then 30 seconds close. Trying to get people out of there, right? Might be some crazy chaos going on. And last one we'll have share out loud. Kaylin, tell us about the chaos you've experienced. Don't forget to use your word. Fabulous. So at Christmas time, it's chaos in the stores and people are trying to get presents for each other. Awesome job with that. I'm going to give some examples, and I want you to say, that is chaos, or that is not chaos. So we'll do big head nods with it too. So that is chaos, or that is not chaos. Try it with me. That is chaos. That is not chaos. Make it exaggerated. You ready? All of the animals at a zoo escape and are running everywhere, and no one knows what to do. Perfect. We can all do it together. You ready?
That is chaos.
Fabulous. Students are sitting silently at their desks reading books.
That is not chaos.
6 ducks are waddling in a straight line down to the pond.
That is not chaos.
A man drops his large stack of papers, and the papers fly everywhere and become mixed up.
That is chaos.
A mob of people are running around, chasing and yelling and screaming and rioting.
That is chaos.
Fabulous. Our word was